That just cut off really quickly. But anyway, greetings everyone. Welcome to the Tanya Love Show. And I wish you all a Merry Christmas and happy holidays, whatever way you want to celebrate the holidays. I have a special guest today, Rose. Had you say your name Faraci?
Yes.
Okay, because I thought so. But Rose and I have done a few videos together in the past, and we just recently, maybe a couple weeks ago, did one on her Google Plus page, and she's on today. And we're just going to start doing these soul conversations every now and then, connecting as light workers and just having these fun, very free flowing conversations about what we feel is, on our hearts and what we'd like to connect with everyone. So today, before we get started, I'm just going to remind everyone, if you want to chat with us, if you want to ask questions, or you want to share any feedback, go ahead and log in and put your name right here on the website where you see the place to sign in. Or you can call in live for anybody that wants to call in. Actually, Amnon, can you accept a call in? You can, right?
Of course.
Okay, yeah. Well, actually, yeah, because Rose is on the Skype, so never mind. I just totally remember she was going to call in. So if anybody wants to call in, it's 919-518-9773. So feel free to call in if you'd like. And I'm going to welcome Rose Faraci. So welcome, Rose. It's nice to have you on today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I love working with you. So I'm very excited that we are doing yet another event together. So hi.
Yay. For those of you that can see, Rose's background is so cute. Like she has all her little fairy twinkle lights. I love it. So Christmassy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, welcome, Rose. So basically, we're just going to kind of be flowing today with the conversation. But what I was feeling inspired to speak about, and I talked about it with Rose a little, is that at this time of year, I observe, a lot of times people always were given opportunities to stay in the now and stay authentic and stay present. Or if we don't pay attention and really stay in that presence, we can very quickly go into reactive mode and we start to play games of victimization, or we go and we just like, oh, I have to go to the in-laws and I have to do this and I have to do that. I have to go buy way too many presents for people I don't even like so that they'll love me enough. And I'm hoping that we could kind of inspire you all today listening to know that you all have a moment. Every moment is presented to you. You have an opportunity for liberation, freedom, and authenticity. And so at this time of year, some of us, maybe for years we've done this cycle where we've overconsumed and we've gone into debt trying to give to everyone so that we'd be enough. Maybe we've gone and spent our time around people that don't show us honor, don't really respect us. We feel invisible, but we feel like we have to be around them because they're our family. And just at the holiday times in particular, I feel like the reason we have such a higher rate in suicide and depression and all of this stuff that goes on is because it's so symbolic of misalignment in the soul, because we're not honoring our soul's authenticity. We're not honoring self-love and what really feels good to us. And so my hope is that by us having this conversation, we can inspire each of you to live more authentically, more in the present now, and listening to love. Like, what feels good to me? What would love do right now? So what do you feel about that, Rose?
Absolutely. We get lost in the holidays. It kind of brings things up that we haven't really dealt with, put on the back burner. A lot of healing is needed in order to understand and appreciate the holidays on a deeper level. And so when the holidays come up, we just feel an obligation and we lose sight.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. And the self-love, the self-honor, the self-worth and everything just goes crashing down during the holidays. We don't feel we're appreciated because that stuff comes up. We feel, the resentment and everything towards family members, friends, our lives. What have we done so far in our life? It's nothing. It's another year gone by wasted, or don't want to go and be with these people who have, really hurt you so much in your life or what have you. And so we lose sight. But when it starts right here, self-love, and you start honoring yourself and knowing that this life path of ours is absolutely a beautiful thing, and that this whole existence is part of our soul's expansion, and it's to be present and to be who we really are, and to really discover ourselves. And
Yes.
when we get to that point to where we just look at ourselves and then change the perspective and our perception of ourselves, then everything around us changes. And then the meaning of everything, the deeper meaning, and the truth and our truth comes and reveals itself. And then we just look at everything different. The world does not look the same anymore. Our lives don't look the same anymore. The people around us, we don't look at them the same anymore. So yeah, there's a lot that goes on around the holidays, that if we tap into our own truth and tap into and connect with ourselves and spirit, then it changes the dynamics of everything in our lives. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. And Rose and I were just talking before the show of how we've both been really busy serving the light and like helping so many clients at this time of year that are like, can I please see you before the holidays? Tawnya, can I come see you before Thanksgiving dinner? Because I'm really freaked out about seeing my family. And what's beautiful is that there are light workers like Rose and I that are here helping to act as guides to help you look into your shadow and help you see like what are these suppressed childhood emotions and things that I've been, pushing down for a lifetime or maybe lifetimes. And it's so beneficial to do that work and to tune in and to start really owning your stuff because like when we own it, we can clear it so quickly. So those of you that have been watching know that over the past few months, I went from being in a marriage that I was pretty sure I was going to be in for a while, and it changed. And I just kept trusting my heart and watching and following and feeling. And I'm now united with my twin flame, William, and I am blissfully happy. I am so grateful to myself for listening to my heart and for honoring what felt right to Tawnya and not at all worrying about what other people were going to think of me. I mean, we all have that momentary, like, oh, people might judge this. But I feel like what I mirror to the world is that authenticity and to have the courage to do your shadow work. My beloved and I, he will have dreams sometimes, and we're processing and clearing stuff that's from his past. I'm having a dream, he's helping me process. And it's so beautiful when we can be so authentic with each other. And I can just say with my twin and I, my twin flame, but with some of us, like with light workers, we're assisting in that same way where we can help kind of hold the mirror for you so that you can look into that shadow aspect and realize that there's nothing wrong with you, that you really want to be loved and appreciated at Christmas. And there's nothing wrong that you really wish somebody, in your world would appreciate you. What's beautiful is when we can see the shadow part that keeps us suffering and stuck, we can clear it. And then next thing we know, we create space for all that beauty and love we've been wanting to arrive. And it arrives within. It has to arrive first within, and then it can come from the outside. Would you agree with that, Rose?
Oh yeah, that's what happens. The shadow, we normally deem it as an enemy, and it's not. It's actually our teacher. It's our mirror. It shows us the inner work we need to do,
Yes.
and it shows us, our beautiful truth. So when we're faced with our shadow side, we're faced with the things we don't like about ourselves. We're faced with the things that we loathe about ourselves and that we lack for ourselves. And, it mirrors us. We align ourselves with that same vibration or frequency around us. So we're going to get people that are going to treat us and make us feel the same way that we feel about ourselves. If we have no self-honor, no self-worth, we're going to just surround ourselves with people that treat us that same way, that don't have any honor for us and respect, and don't find us worthy to, love and unconditionally. And so the shadow work is actually a blessing in disguise. We have to change our perspectives of our shadow side, because it is the most beautiful side of us. It is just a deeper look at what we need to do within.
Yes.
So,
And it's so necessary to really, as we call it, Rose and I call it work. And there is some work. I mean, just being honest, there is some work going to be there. But the work is really not hard. I think some people get intimidated by that, like, oh, I don't want to look into my shadows. I don't want to look at that painful side. But when we have the courage to look there, what I'll help clients see is that it's just energy. It's old energy. It's not real anymore. So if you can just take a breath and like feel that energy, and it might bring up tears, it might bring up rage, but you allow the emotion to rise and to be released. And after that, I had a client the other day. She came in, she's desperate, she's in tears, she feels like nothing. And few hours later, she leaves the healing space and she's giddy with laughter and like, oh my God, my life is going to begin again. And it was like rebirthed in a session. And it's so powerful because before that, she wasn't even aware of a lot of the suppressed emotions that were going on in her. It was very unconscious in her. And that's what's beautiful about doing that work is like let's say, like I've said this example many times on the show, but I say this because I work with so many that have been abused. And let's say like a woman's been abused in her childhood or a man's been abused in his childhood and they don't deal with that. It will keep haunting you. You will keep like a record player attracting more and more abusers into your world until you can clear it from your vibration. And once you clear that pain and shame and all that energy that you hold within, which is, I feel like a lot of women that I work with, they hold body weight connected to pain and shame. And then we start tapping and we start clearing. And I have seen shifts in body fat, like weight loss, not from starving yourself and not from over exercising, but from doing healthy exercise, healthy eating, and tapping on those, areas of your body and intending to clear the cellular memory of pain and shame and guilt. It's amazing, like what we can clear and shift energetically, but we have to do the work. And if we don't, then basically it's like we've thrown in the baton, we've thrown in our wand, and we become victims and we pretend to play this game of being powerless. And it's not true. We are so freaking powerful. Like, we are so amazingly powerful. Right, Rose?
Oh my gosh, you just that actually is so true. People don't realize that the body holds memory and everything is energy. Emotions are energy, and all the experiences we have is energy, and the body holds the memories of all of that. We might get over it in our heads, and
Yeah.
we might say, okay, I'm over it. I'm okay with what happened and I forgive those people, but the body doesn't forget. We
Yes.
disconnect from our body, and we need to connect, and we need to say, you know what, thank you, and love our bodies and say thank you for holding those memories for me, because it was just out of protection mode or what have you, but I don't need that anymore. So let
Yeah.
me love you and take care of you again. Thank you for what I, putting up with what I put you through, and really connecting with oneself. And actually, I've seen a lot of my clients, when they get to that point, the weight drops.
Yep.
And
And the
that
life
is,
shifts in more
oh
magical ways.
yeah, you have no idea. It is
Mhm.
very real, and it's instantaneous as well. So it is about that love for yourself, loving
Yeah.
your body, loving you, and loving who you are. And that's part of this whole life experience, is actually just embracing yourself, and the dynamics of your life change instantly. It's like you don't have to wait months or years to get
Do it
past
now.
something. Yes, right now you got to be in the moment, and don't be in yesterday. You're not there anymore. Don't be in tomorrow. You're not there yet.
Yeah.
Right now is all that is important. Right now, being present of mind, body, and spirit. And before you know it, that actually cuts out the middleman, which is linear time, which does not exist anymore.
That's
Yeah,
right.
so it cuts that out, and then things happen instantaneously around you and just fall right into place. It really, really works. That's the magic of this whole, experience. That's how much, empowerment we have, how much power we
Yes.
actually have. We are very powerful beings.
So I
And
want to I want to share something connected with that because I am a very powerful manifester and I've known this, but there are times where spirit has its dance, I call it, of, the divine timing of things. And over the past couple months, I have, for whatever reasons, and my guides have told me, just keep helping, you can help. And this is like a spiritual tithing that will be greatly rewarded. And I'm like, okay. So in the past couple months, I have helped so many people with auric clearings, but so many of them have been from the heart. There's been no payment. And it's not because I'm in any way playing martyr, trust me, because that is not Tanya's style. But it's literally like my heart, like this one mother's daughter had like broke her spine, and the family was just in torment, and the daughter was like suicidal, and just like it was terrible. And I just listened to this woman's story, and I was like, I can help you. And I just was like, I don't need any payment. And she and her husband are gonna like help me with some videos or something, so it's cool, it all works out. But like, so many things that I've done over the past month has been giving to people that were really not in a financial situation to be able to pay me, but yet my heart said help them. And so the other day, it was funny because I go into meditation after a really busy day, and I just was like, Spirit, I'm talking to my angels, and I was like, all right, I work for you. I signed up for this. I know it, but it's time for Tanya Love to get some abundance. Like, and I'm grateful to help, and you know this, but I am calling forth $555 in it. Like, I'm calling that forth in a day. And I said to them, I'm giving you 48 hours, and you know that I will help regardless, but it's just fun to get paid. And I was just like, kind of imagining the feeling. And this is what I teach my clients, like visualize that, but feel it into being. So I felt the excitement I would feel when that money came in, and the excitement to be rewarded and seen and honored by the universe for the light work I was helping with. And so I put that out to the universe, and I asked for it to come in 48 hours. And this was just a couple days ago. And that morning, the next morning, I woke up, and it was maybe 12 hours later. I checked my phone, and I had received a PayPal payment from one of my amazing clients that I adore. And she and I have been mentoring together for over a year. And it's for $555. And she had signed up for a buy one, get one half angelic auric clearing special that I have going to the end of the holidays. And it was actually, I think the total would have been a little less, but she likes to pay me in triple numbers because I love triple numbers. So my point is, within 12 hours, the universe listened to and responded to my request. And I was so giddy and excited. And I just was like, we are so amazing at manifesting. But the thing is not once in there was I in loathing or anger or separation or resistance or anger, irritation with the lack of something. And I say that because, and I'm sure Rose has witnessed this, a lot of humans, they want good stuff, but they're doing it all the wrong way. They're wanting to feel good in their body, and they don't feel good today. So they're pissed off and emotional and frustrated and stressed about not feeling good in their body, which in essence is laws of attraction at work, causing more dis-ease in the body. Or they want money, but they talk about how broke they are all the time. And I'm so broke. And I say this like with kindness and compassion. I really do. But if I could tell you how many people have come to me and told me that they can't afford healing, but then when I talk to them for a while and they're like, yeah, well, I went to the bar the other day and I was drinking a bunch because I felt depressed. And then, I went and I ate a bunch of crappy fast food and I sit alone. And I was like, and notice that you're making these choices and they all cost money, correct? And the person's like, well, yeah. And I was like, but yet you say you cannot afford healing. So what you're really doing is you are choosing to put your money and your time and your investment into your vices and into your problems and addictions. And then you're saying that there's no money left for your healing. Is that truth? Or is it that you do not value healing? And this person was like, wow, like I really can't argue with you, Tanya. And so my point of saying that is that we need to get into this place where we vibrationally match our desires, and where if whoever's listening out there, I totally care about you if you're struggling with a lack of money or if you're struggling with sickness in your body. Like nobody likes that. We've all been there. We've all like Rose and I have probably been broke before. We've probably been sick before, right? We've had
Yeah.
shit happen. But the thing is the master realizes to not focus on the problem very long at all. Okay, this pain is here. What is it here to teach me? Let me tune in. Okay, the money is gone. Interesting. What is the lesson here? And then we tune in vibrationally to the having of the money, the having of the love, the having of the healthy body. And I promise you, if we hold the vibrational frequency there long enough, you're going to have those things. But if you don't, like most people, Rose, would you agree that you see if they're having trouble in their love life or money or whatever, their focus is on the problem and on the lack, and they probably talk really passionately about it, maybe blog about it. They got a little group that meets up about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. The more you focus on what you don't want, the more what you don't want you get. And,
Boom.
and
Indeed.
I try to tell people, okay, so we know what we don't want. Enough of that. Let's
Mhm.
not even go there anymore. What do you want? You know, what are your
Yes.
heart's desires? And start telling a different story. So this is your life story. So let's change it. You know,
Yeah.
it's like a movie. You know, you're the star, you're the director, you're the writer, and you can
Yeah.
change the plot and the people, you know, the characters at any given moment. And
Yes,
so
you
you
can.
gotta step into, you know, step it up for yourself and take over, take charge. And yeah, Laurel, you know, the gal, my friend here that owns this cafe, you know, she did mentorship, you know, under me, and boy, she got it right away, because she was, you know, the cafe was doing successfully and everything, but every once in a while she just would like a little extra, because there might be something that she really would like to purchase or what have you. And so she just, it is so simple and so easy for her, and she'll just be like, all right, universe, I'm ready. I would love to have some extra cash so that I could, you know,
Sorry.
bless you, so
Thank
that I
you.
could purchase this or that. And
Yes.
instantly that day, she will get, you know, an unexpected, you know, customer, and she's got a boutique up there as well, and they'll buy it, like, a no lie, this happened one day, when she did that, asking for just a little extra. One of her regular customers came in and went to the boutique, bought $1,000 worth of stuff.
Nice.
You know,
That's a little extra.
yeah, it always happens like that for her, and
Yes.
instantly. She doesn't have to wait for it ever. I mean, she'll ask in the morning, she has it by the afternoon, and it's like more than what she asked for. So
And we
it
can
is,
all do this. Like all
yeah,
of us have that in us. It's just honestly, what I've observed is that the people that make it harder on themselves, they're trying too hard and they still
mhm,
got this belief system that says, I gotta suffer, I gotta work for it, I gotta earn it. And so because that's there, and this is like the shadow stuff, like what's that unconscious belief system you have about money being evil? Oh yeah, that nasty old money that you keep wanting it so much, but then when it comes, you got to blow it and lose it right away because
yeah,
it's that subconscious belief system that we're not paying attention to, trying to protect us from that bad old money. And so, really, we can manifest lightning speed. Any of us can. And I have found that it's more like the more relaxed you are. It's like I kind of joke with my clients. I was like, when you call and you order pizza, you're probably not stressed out. You're like, yeah, I'd like pizza. Could I have some sausage and, some olives and throw some Parmesan in there? Okay, thanks. It's on the way. And then you let it go. You're like, pizza's coming. You start setting the table. You're planning, preparing for your pizza. You're not running around stressing because the pizza's not here yet. But it's that simple. It's like calling out to the universe. Yeah, I'd like a $555 day. All right, see you later. It's on its way. Hang up and you just are preparing for it. Like, I'm going to be excited when that money comes, and this is what we're going to do with it. We're going to have some extra fun. And then the money comes just like your pizza would. But the people that make it too important and too
mhm.
serious actually get in their own way. That's what I observe.
That no, that's exactly it. You've got to also just let it go and
Let it
trust.
go.
And you know, because one thing that I tell people when I tell them, you know, when I try to show them how to create, uh, I say, then let it go and say thank you,
Yes.
because it's already there, and you just got to stop worrying about the who, what, when, where, why, how it's going to be there.
Yes.
And that's what Laurel does. You know, she just says, okay, thank you. And she lets it go.
Thank
She
you.
doesn't give it another thought. You know, she just
Yep.
goes about her day, and bam, she's got that knacked perfectly, you know.
Perfect.
And it is that easy. It really is. It's just
Yeah.
that we stress so much, because not only do we try to hold on to things we don't want, but we hold on to what we do want, and that just doesn't
Yep.
work. You have to
Absolutely.
actually just, you know, the archer has to pull back on that bow, but he's also got to let go to hit his target.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's just relax, just be, and just say thank you and breathe.
Hopefully, I don't think my beloved would mind me sharing this, but he like sees me as very magical and like how I have a lot of mystical experiences. And he just is like, you're amazing. And he sees that. And I always tell him, baby, I'm just mirroring to you like your own potential, like your own gifts. Like we have this in us. And so when I first met him, he had not really had a lot of visions or seen things, but he wanted to. So one of the days he wanted to do a clearing and he's like, I really want to activate my third eye and I want to awaken and I want to start seeing visions and having these experiences. And I said, then you shall. And so we set that intention. And all I told him is I was like, I feel like in most of your life, you've been taught that you have to work hard and you have to make something happen. It's the very kind of like that misaligned masculine that most of the world's running around by is we got to make it happen and we got to control it in some way. But the truly aligned way is what I feel is balancing on our planet is this divine aligned feminine energy. And it's receptivity, it's allowing, it's holding the vision with such focus and such faith. And then you release it. And that is what is actually the power behind every magical experience in the universe is that holding of focus, that deep, passionate feeling of love and like feeling it vibrationally, and then the allowing it. So you release it and then you allow. And so in his clearing, he really embodied that. He really let go and released, allowed, and he had visions happening in that session. And then afterwards, he's had things happening. And I'm just like, baby, you got it. Like, you just have to let go. And some of us, like, we can see people like I've had workshops where sometimes I can feel women kind of projecting that on me, like, oh, you're special, Tawnya. You've got this gift, and like I can never see anything. And I just tell them, you're choosing not to. And some reason, if we went and deeply explored that, what is that? Like, what is that fear to see? If you started to see, what would you not want to see in your world? And so it brings up that shadow stuff. Why are we not wanting to see clearly? And once we can own that power to see and we can allow, it's amazing what will shift and manifest in our worlds. And it like we can manifest someone giving us a flower, or we can manifest a mansion that we're going to lead retreats at. It is not any difference to the universe. The universe doesn't value any of it more than the other. We could manifest the love of our life. Like my beloved and I are going to lead these twin flame workshops together because we know from our experience, you want to be with your twin. Trust me, it's amazing. But if some people believe they need to have that abusive relationship and then maybe another one, and then, yeah, let's do it one more time to make sure that we really got the lessons, that's okay. But the universe doesn't really mind. The universe is like, oh, okay, you want to still be in lack and suffering? Got it. Let's go and send her, her tire is going to pop on the way to work. And then we're going to have that guy splash mud on her when he goes by. Yeah, she really wants to have a shitty day. She keeps saying it. And so bring it in. And so we'll have that. Or we could be done with that. And it might be a day where you just got tired, popped, mud splashed on you, you're pissed off, you want to leave your job. And then suddenly something shifts in you and you realize, let me focus on what I want, what I love. And you can powerfully draw that in just as quickly and as powerfully as you were drawing in what you hated. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Have you had an experience before, Rose?
In the past years ago, I did, but I also have seen my clients come in and give the same experiences. And, your wish is my command, says your universe, and that is so true because the universe will always, always honor your frequency, your vibration. And, so be careful with what you wish for. And one of my clients, I know she won't mind me telling her story. She came in and she was broken. She comes into me regularly, but she comes in broken all the time. The second time before the last, she just came in and she said, she's like, I'm done. I can't take it anymore. She's just teary. And she's like, I am broken. I've got nothing left to give on this, and she was living in a situation with a relative, that they weren't getting along or anything. And she's like, I don't know what to do anymore. I'm so unhappy, blah, blah, blah. And well, then we did an energy session and I had a long talk with her. It's your vibration. You just keep bringing it on. So you've got to really go within and do some things and change these things. And so then the next time she comes in, completely different personality. This a couple weeks ago, she came in and she was all smiles. You couldn't chisel the smile off her face.
That's awesome.
And she says, "Guess what?" She said, "Well, my sister, kicked me out." And she even had a policeman come to the door to escort me out. I had no idea what was going on. She just decided she was done with me. I didn't know what to do. And she said she
And
called a
that's a
friend from
good, like,
work.
I'm done moment. See you later.
Yeah. She's like, so I called a friend, this man that I was really becoming good friends with at work, and she says, I just need somebody to hold my stuff for me. Can you hold my stuff for me for a while till I found my place? And he's like, what? What are you talking about? I got another house that is unoccupied and fully furnished. Go there.
That is awesome.
And so
And
she's been there.
this is like angelic universal
Yeah,
intervention moment. That's beautiful.
absolutely. And now they started dating. So she's like, I just didn't even imagine it would fall into place like that. That's because she let it go and she allowed the
Exactly.
universe to do it.
Exactly. And that is so powerful. Like they're really, I think that's the nugget right there is that humans, I observe, they struggle with letting go until they know something better's coming. And what I've observed is often the universe is like, let go. Because in order for us to bring you this awesomeness, there needs to be space created, and you need to release this thing and this energy that consumes all your energy, your frequency, and your vibration, your space. And so when you can release and let go, you free up all this space and what you desire can come in. Like my angels often will say, we are going to surprise and delight you in ways that are beyond your fondest imaginings. I'm like, oh, that sounds nice. And it's true. We can let go. Like this woman, she probably didn't see that coming. Like the life I live today compared to a few years ago where I felt enslaved and suicidal in a terrible marriage, I did not see this, but in that past place when I was there, I remember just feeling my deservability and my worthiness. Like I am worth that. And I know it can be out there and it exists. And I have to walk away from this and I'm terrified. But if I can walk away, I know something better's out there. And so it's trusting that. And even sometimes, like a sister slamming a door in your face, literally or energetically, if we can say thank you for it, like, thank you, sis. Thank you. You're saving me time. Okay, angels, what you got now? Like, thanks for taking care of the details. Magic happens. So that is beautiful. What an amazing turnaround for her, right?
Absolutely. It's about miracles. This is the magic.
Yes.
And if
Yes, we love magic and miracles.
yes, let it go and stop worrying about how it's going to come out, the who, what, when, where, why, how is this going to happen, and allow the
Let the
universe,
universe.
just take
Yes.
care of it in its own way, because it's never the way we think it is. We put it in a box and we limit ourselves then.
Yes.
So when we just let go of the box and be done with the box, then there's limitless, countless ways, inexplicable miracles that happen, and that's the
Yes.
fun of it. This should be a fun ride, actually.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And this is why, like, on Facebook, I'm always like, I love my freaking life. I love my life. And I really do. And I know, like, this is what we're here to do. We're here to, like, be with the love of our life. We're here to love ourselves. Like, honestly, I couldn't have been with my love of my life until I learned how to love myself so deeply. He couldn't have attracted me until he learned that. And so, we're here to totally embody love and embody our divinity, and that is the world of magic and miracles. And it's not suffering, it's not surviving, it's not trying to be accepted. That's old stuff, and that's heavy gunky stuff. But there is like another bridge you can cross, the rainbow bridge, to higher vibration, or you can stay enslaved in the societal conditioning that I feel more and more humans are waking up every day, and more of these structures are dissolving and fading, and their time has come. And like the essence of this, like, let's say, focus of dreaming, when we want to dream a new reality, we have to play in our imagination. I feel like we have to come to this place where people like Rose and I, we're not weirdos to the majority of the population anymore, where the population starts to look at us and see that we're the magicians that are here to teach them how to play and to create magic. Instead of like, they're the woo woo weirdy girls. We're not. We're actually really freaking masterful at creation. But society needs to shift and see that what they're creating through all that mundane, rigid rules and structures, and do you know what I'm saying? All that enslavement, it's not helping. And in order to break free of that, we have to be in a place where we honor our imagination and we don't look at imagination as some silly childhood thing. It's like our inner child, that's the magic that that child understood was imagination. And that's how we're going to birth everything beautiful into our world is through our creative imagination, our creative consciousness. What do you think about that?
Oh, I love that. Yes, it is so true. And actually, the inner child has been coming up a lot lately. I've been saying, you know what? The inner child is wanting to come out in all of us. And
Yes.
and
Yeah.
this is the magic. The inner child is very powerful, and the inner child has faith in it, and the inner child's not afraid. There's no fears.
Yeah.
And the
And
inner
knows
child,
its worth.
exactly, the inner child is going for it. It's the doer, the action, and wants to explore and have these experiences. We have to allow ourselves to love and be loved, and we have to allow ourselves to feel and to really connect with ourself and our emotions and at every experience.
Yes.
So if you choose to suffer, great, because it's something in there that's going to be taught to you, and
Yes.
and it will
But it
you
is
actually,
optional.
yes, it is optional. You don't have to choose it.
Yes.
You will always find something and just rediscover something about yourself. You'll always be learning and expanding. This is part of your growth. This is
Yeah.
part of your development. So this is where this is literally magic in action. It does exist, and we are the sole creator of it. We're the ones that make it
We are the
happen.
magicians.
Yes, we are.
And we're either magicians of black magic, doom and gloom, worry, so we're black magicians, or we are white magicians through focus of hope and love and beauty. It's really where do we aim our wand? That is where we create. And it's
Mm-hmm.
every one of us, not just Rose and I, every single one of you. What you're focusing on right now, what you're focusing on day to day, whether you're saying it out loud or you're just vibrating that frequency to the universe, what the universe is hearing louder than anything is what your vibration is saying. And so if your vibration is saying, man, I suck and no one loves me and like I'll never be enough, and if you just catch it and be honest and be vulnerable with that, feel it, and then be willing to clear that and release it and let your vibration go into, and this is truly, it's like fake it till you make it world, where when you're feeling shitty, you sometimes have to be very conscious of faking it till you make it, meaning like, okay, a bunch of bullshit is in my movie and people are just projecting a bunch of cray cray energy, but I am so grateful that the magic is coming, and I am so grateful for that my angels have a solution and that the beautiful doors are opening. And I do this all the time, and sometimes my kids would tease me just like, God, whatever, mom, but they watch my life, and no matter what's happening in my movie, I go to that place of gratitude and expectation of miracles, and I manifest it again and again. So it doesn't mean like the ones, those of us that are really powerful magicians don't have things happen to us that test us or that aren't fun, but we know how to hold the frequency of going, okay, I observe this, I will not absorb it, and I'm going to focus my magic right over here where we're going to a higher vibrational state. We're going to go and holographically leap to a whole new holographic reality, even though it's like, you know, those movies like Pretty Woman where she's like a prostitute and she's poor and like she doesn't love herself, and so the whole world's telling her how shitty she is because she's getting a mirroring of that. And then this guy comes along and it's like the whole princess story, like boom, her world turns around and she's holographically leaping to living now with a millionaire, and she's got money and status and love. Like those movies are kind of showing that we as humans have an opportunity to holographically leap any moment we choose to. And we have to learn the lessons of our self love. Like at some level, Julia Roberts' character wanted to suffer and wanted to go through struggle. But a day came where she was done. And in her frequency, she was putting out, like, I'm ready to go to a higher reality. Oh, okay, Richard Gere, he'll work. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but it's like truly, we don't have to justify it or explain why we're suddenly worthy. It's just a soul decides, I've had enough of this and I'm now ready to be seen. So they used to not be seen. They used to be ignored, neglected, not paid, whatever. And then suddenly they're like, yeah, I'm ready to be seen. I'm ready to hang out with Oprah. This is what I've been putting out lately. I'm like, yeah, me and Oprah and Ellen, we're going to hang out. And so you start putting out this vibration of a higher holographic reality, and you don't need to justify it. You don't need to explain to people why you should be worthy. That's none of their business. It's just you desire it, right? Is that Jingle Bells? Is that
Kinda. There's
Amnon?
a question
Oh, yay.
from
What's the question?
Pegasus. Pegasus says, knowing that the universe is abundant,
Yes.
are third world impoverished countries around the planet and its collective populations in fact simply vibrating at a lower frequency?
Okay, so is he saying, or who is this? Pegasus? Is that what he said?
Pegasus.
Is this person saying, like, basically
He's
people that
asking.
are
He's ask
impoverished?
Yeah, he's asking. He's saying, knowing that the universe is abundant,
Yes.
are third world impoverished countries around the planet and its collective populations in fact simply vibrating at a lower frequency?
Absolutely. That is a great question because, yes, absolutely. So we can look at it in ourselves, right? In the micro, and then we can look at the macro. So the micro is like we could just look at like Tanya Love as a human and like what I'm putting out in a frequency and how it's manifesting in my world personally. Then we can take Tanya Love and her tribe, like, the tribe of her community, and then we can take the community and the country and go bigger. And so vibrationally, there will be a belief of deservability, of what we're worth, what we've been told, what we've been taught, and we take that in and we hold it in our cellular memory and we say, oh, I have got black skin or I've got white skin or whatever. And people have told me this about that or this worth about that. And so even though I may believe that I should be worthy, if I'm carrying around that cellular memory that says I'm not as worthy, I absolutely will send out a frequency of that. And then if I and my tribe believe that same thing, we will put out that frequency and it will amplify. So across the world, there are like billions of holographic realities playing out right now. And they're on the micro level, individuals. And then on the macro level, it's communities and collective consciousness. So on the global level, like if we ultimately believe, and this is something important to really pay attention to, every one of you that are listening, on the global level, if we innately believe that we are doomed and gloomed for, like, we have this doom and gloom belief of apocalypse and the world's going to destroy us because we're not worthy, then we will create that collectively. But I know we don't need to. I know that we absolutely have, like, this is kind of like the depressed human that's like, I must suffer. I need everyone to hate me and loathe me because I'm not worthy. And so at a human micro level, that's what's happening. It's suffering and pain and depression and lack. But at the collective level, if that same energy frequency is being amplified, then humans will wipe themselves out. They will extinct themselves just like an individual will commit suicide. So if we look at that vibrationally, absolutely every one of our frequencies are important. It's just like a cell in a human body. The cell of Tanya Love is important. The cell of Rose Faraci is important. Amnon's important. The Pegasus cell is important. And the more of us that know our cells important and we love ourselves and we are a shining, thriving, healthy cell, we vibrate with love, we vibrate with hope, with faith of a new earth, we absolutely will create that. So, what I hope in my soul is that enough of you listening are ready to hold your focus for your own life, but also to be that vibrational frequency that emits such a powerful signal that we shift the collective consciousness into a higher vibrational state. So then there will be no third world countries that are impoverished because we will all be one and we will all help each other and we will no longer hoard money and hoard things because we will know that we all are here to thrive. What do you think about that, Rose? Like, that's my inner knowing on that. I was like passionate about that.
No, that was beautifully said. That is absolutely right. It is absolutely possible. And it is actually, done, as good as done, if enough of us, and there is enough of us,
Yes.
I am you, you are me. So we are collective consciousness. So like Tawnya and I could get together with other, people, anyone who would be willing to raise the consciousness, you
Oh, and
know,
we are, girl.
yes, absolutely. And so it is about, who's willing to step it up and work together in this, because
Yes.
it's about working together in unity, no more separation.
Come together right now.
Break on through to the other side. That's right.
Yeah,
So,
there you go. Absolutely.
yes.
So, Amnon, did Pegasus respond? Like, did we get an amen on that?
I'm sure you did. He did not respond yet.
Okay, well, Pegasus, tell us what you think about that amazing moment of truth.
I don't know that I would ask him to say what he's thinking. I mean, I would just take it as it is.
Okay, well, if they want to share, I was gonna share it because I do this almost every week, and you know how much I
Oh well,
love.
he's saying thank you.
What's that?
Thank you, he says.
Thank you. Okay, that works. So, um, on what Rose and I have been talking about, like some of you, we get it if you actually are in a place where you don't have extra cash flow to be working with a healer because, it's kind of like some people they can afford to go join a gym for 20 bucks a month and figure it out on their own, and other people can afford to hire a personal trainer and they're going to work one-on-one. It's all about value and about what you have the time, the desire, the money, and the I would say it's mostly desire. But if you want to have a tool that will help you with what we're teaching about today, I highly recommend getting this book, Getting into the Vortex, and make sure you get the one with the meditation CD. It's the teachings of Esther and Jerry Hicks, teachings of Abram. Have you heard of them,
Yes.
Rose? Okay, I
Yes.
figured.
Yes.
But this,
Love them.
yes, and honestly, I have this in my healing room, and I recommend every client to get this book. I'm like, I should just buy a bunch of them and just have them here. But basically, the teachings of it are all about vibrational alignment and helping you remember that you are one with your source. That in essence, you are a healthy, well, you can be, you are an amazing, important cell in the collective body. And so when our cell is thriving, we're like, I love my life. And we feel blissful and happy and expansive and euphoric. That is our natural state. But we live on such an earthly realm that has been so enslaved for so long that it's heavier in vibration. Well, not as much anymore, but that's where we came from, is in this earth plane. We've been kind of conditioned and taught that things are hard and that we have to pay for it, we have to earn it, no pain, no gain, all that stuff. And in essence, this book and the CD, for those of you that don't feel you can afford to hire us as healers, I encourage you to get that book. It's probably like 15 bucks or something. And put in that CD every day and diligently focus, not with stress, but just the desire to let go, the desire to allow, the desire to come into a place of ease so that you can start becoming a vibrational match to everything you want. And if you want, I'll tell clients this, they'll be like, Tawnya, I really know I'm meant to mentor with you, and like you're amazing and I feel so drawn to work with you, but I can't afford it. And I'll say, here's your first assignment then. I'll encourage them to get that book. And then I will say, I want you, do you believe in angels? And they'll be like, yeah. I'm saying, you believe the universe helps you. And oh, yeah, okay. Then I want you to tell the universe how much you're ready to work with me and that you know that you need this amount of money and that you thank the universe for taking care of all the details on that. And I have had so many clients actually take that and then put it out there to the universe and money comes in for them. So instead of saying, like the guy on the phone with me the other day, oh, I can't afford it, but I go to the bar and I'm going to go buy my cigarettes. And, instead of putting out that energy of I can't afford what I need, I encourage you guys all to stop doing that and to start focusing on thanking the universe for bringing you the money, the time, and the desire and passion to step in as warriors of light, to step in and actually have the courage to take your wand back. Because most of us, if you watch like that movie Tomorrowland, I highly recommend that film. One of the things that the guy in the end who was kind of messing with humanity, it was like a test, and he was like, you guys all gave up. And he's like, you gave up and you started believing this apocalypse story and you started expecting doom and gloom. And he goes, and you know why? Because when you expect that, it asks nothing of you. But the ones that actually are like, wait a minute, we can make this world a better place. What we could change it. We could make these systems, the judicial system that's all corrupted, we could change that. We could change healthcare to where energy healers are acknowledged, and we don't give people medicine to just experiment. We don't just chop things out of their body without tuning in. We could be different, and we could do, teach our children to find what they love and to follow their passion instead of make them little conformed robots in a system that enslaves them. We could do this. And so in order to do that, it asks everything of us. And so I love in Tomorrowland how he just put it bluntly, humanity, the reason that a lot of you play victim and you play small is because it asks nothing of you, and you like playing small, and you like that you threw in your wand, but it fucking sucks and you suffer. And so if we want to change that, we have to take our wands back and we have to step in with power and courage and say, what do you ask of me? How may I serve? What do you think about that, Rose?
Yeah, don't settle for less. Don't settle for less. You can
Yes.
have all of your heart's desires. There's plenty of it for every single human being on this planet.
Yes.
And you weren't born, to just, pay bills and die, as they say. We're meant to be abundant on every level, with love,
we were
friendship,
born to
family.
thrive, not survive.
Absolutely. I love that. Yes.
Right?
By the way, Pegasus amended his thank you with an amen and agreed.
I love it. I was like, can I get an amen? Even though I'm not religious at all. So on that note, what we were just talking about, Rose, have you ever read the books Conversations with God back in the day?
Yes.
Did you ever read any of them with Donald Walsh?
Yes.
Well, the other day, and I've read this lately, it was just interesting. Like sometimes a book that I've read many years ago will just be like, oh. And so I went and grabbed book 3 and I open up to this page and I'm going to read this little brief moment or brief part. And I think I read this recently, but it's so important to the very simplicity of our shifting this collective consciousness. We don't need to make this hard, and we don't need to talk about how everything's hard. It's not. Everything's vibration, and everything is about our holding a frequency of how simple things can change and how magical things can work out instead of how hard they are and how doom and gloom it is. It's all vibrational intention, which creates the expectation. So I open up to this page, and basically God is saying that there's 3 basic wisdoms that run through his entire dialogue that he does in all the books with Neil. And they are, we are all one. There's enough. There's nothing we have to do. So if you really can just own that and feel that truth in that, we are all one. There is enough, and there is nothing we have to do. So if we could all live with that truth in our heart, we would make choices from inspiration rather than obligation. We would share because there's plenty. We would know that if we harm that person, we harm ourselves. And so it will change. Like it would be the most amazing shift that will happen on this planet when we all live this way. And it just could happen this moment. Every one of you watching, let's say today we have hey, it's 555, by the way, which is a number of change, like dynamic change. So perfect timing. So if all of us were to create this intention today together, let's say there's 2,000 of us tuning in today, and we're like, okay, we are all going to hold a vibrational frequency for this next week. Experiment with me. You don't have to take my word for this, but play with it. So for this next week, I will consciously and diligently hold my focus upon having plenty and upon sharing and knowing that I'm one, remembering I am a thriving cell in a healthy collective consciousness, and that I matter, and that my self-love and living authentically are my highest alignment, the highest focal point. And if we do that, each of us, we are going to shift and raise the frequency of the collective. And so instead of complaining about what's wrong with the world, start focusing on your own vibration and be the change. Like truly be the frequency and vibrational change that we will all ignite together. What do you think, Rose?
Absolutely. Become and embody everything that your heart's desires. Start speaking life, because that is the frequency and the intent. Start speaking life. Start believing and feeling and embodying and becoming life again.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to read this last little paragraph based on that. So if maybe write this down, guys. Remember this, put it on your bathroom mirror. We are all one. There's enough. There's nothing we have to do. So if we decided that we are all one, we would cease treating each other the way we do. And we would never think we're justified in bombing people or killing people ever, because that energy is not going to change that. Love is going to change that. If we decided that there's enough, we would do everything we could to share with everyone we connect with, whatever we're able and from our hearts guided and inspired to share. If we decided that there's nothing we have to do, we would stop trying to use doingness to solve our problems. And think about that. How often are we racing around on the hamster wheel of life to try to solve our problems, and we're exhausted and we are not helping a damn thing by doing that? So get rid of doingness, but rather move to and come from a state of being, which would cause your experience of those problems to disappear and the conditions themselves to thus evaporate. This is perhaps the most important truth of all for you to understand at this stage in your evolution, and it is a good place to end this dialogue. Remember this always and make this your mantra. There is nothing I have, there is nothing I have to do, and there is nothing I have to be, except exactly what I am being right now. So, what do you think about that? Great place to end our dialogue today, Rose.
Perfect. Perfect.
Boom.
Yes.
So on that note, quickly, I am going to just share that any of you guys that are watching that are open and interested in connecting with some workshops and you want to connect remotely, my beloved and I are going to be offering a Twin Flame Union workshop on December 27th from 11 to 2 p.m. The cost is $55 for individuals if you prepay and $88 for couples. It is going to be awesome. And we are just going to be shining, mirroring examples of love. And you might get sick of the love, actually. No, I don't think so. I think you'll be inspired. But basically, we're going to be showing you why it's so important to do your work, whether you desire to attract your twin flame or you just want to love yourself more. It will be a beneficial workshop for anybody to attend. The next one is going to be on Saturday, January 2nd, Miracle Manifestation Vision Board Workshop, where we're going to be making fun new vision boards for the new year. And I will be talking a lot like what we were today about laws of attraction. So if you want to attend virtually through Skype or your local, contact me. So that's going on. And then I have a 3-month Essence of Yoga and Meditation teacher training coming up in January. That is a 3-month mentorship that will change your world. We're going to work together, and you can do this remotely. I've had clients do this remotely or in person. And if you're interested in any of that, go to my email at tanyaangel@gmail.com and contact me, and we will talk details. And I'm going to give Rose a moment to tell anything that she has coming up, any events or anything you want to promote, Rose.
You can just find me at quantumlucidity.com, and I have a book on Amazon called Quantum Lucidity. And so from there, all my services and everything are there. And actually, I do have some workshops and things coming up, but they are yet to be announced. So,
Awesome.
But they will be announced on my website. That's how you can find me.
Perfect. And Rose and I will be doing these conversations again. So we'll probably do another one with her on Google Plus, and we're just going to be like ping-ponging it back and forth. But if any of you guys have questions, process that and then shoot them to me. Let me know what your questions or comments are, and we'll know if there's things you want to hear about. You'd like us to have soul conversation about something in particular. And for Rose's peeps that are watching today, if there's stuff you want to hear her and I discuss, let her know that. And let's just keep the soul conversation going, and let's keep talking about the magic and the miracles, because that's what's going to make them happen more and more. So thank you so much for joining us today, Rose. That was fun.
Thank you for having me. Mwah! This was fun.
And happy holidays to you, girl.
You too. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And yes, we will do this again. Yay.
Yes. Yeah, so thank you guys. Have a beautiful holiday, whatever it is that you're doing for it. I dare you to be creative and unique and original. Like, go and do your thing. If that means, eating Chinese, watching your favorite holiday movie, enjoy it. Don't put expectations on yourself. Just enjoy being in the now. So I thank you guys so much for joining us today, and we will be doing a show next Sunday. So what day is Christmas, by the way? Is it Friday?
It's Friday.
Okay. So yeah, we will be having our show on Sunday. So tune in next week. Have a great holiday, and I love you all. Thank you for tuning in. Mwah! Namaste.
Namaste.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, Health In with Debbie Bruck, Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Lessons of Vietnam with NCVVI members, The Tawnya Love Show, Your Healthy Pet with Gisela DiCarlo. And if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it at www.nissancommunications.com. Sponsored by Atomus.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters for professionals, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.